Some new tools for school. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Google is technology expert Peter Du. Hi, Peter.
Hey, Fred. Happy to be here. Happy to talk back to school.
Well, Google is sharing some top trends and new resources for back to school. First off, as the preparations begin or are underway, what are some of the trends that we're seeing?
Yeah, I think you'll probably see some of the usual back to school searches like, which notebooks do I buy, which pencils and everything. I think we'll see this year is a little bit more of the how-to from the going back to school side, right? A lot of people are going back to school in person or hybrid and everything, and they're thinking about how do I fit in? How do I make friends? They're looking for, just tips on starting clubs. And a personal favorite of mine is how do I still smell good at the end of a school day, which cracks me up a little bit.
Yeah, that's a new one on me. I never worried about it. But anyway, are parental searches different, the trends from what we see the kids searching for? I assume they are.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. It's a little bit of a mix, right? So you have parents searching for, because they're kind of stuck with the bill at the end of the day for some of the shopping side of things. So you'll see them kind of looking up, the same kind of items as the kids. This year, things from the year 2000 are actually back in fashion and everything. So you see a lot of, smiley face pillows, neon glow in the dark stars to put on your walls and everything. A nice mix of what is now, I suppose, retro.
What about tools that students can make use of back in the classroom? I assume most are going to be back in the classroom this year. At least keep our fingers crossed.
Definitely. And I think even though a lot of folks will be going back to the classroom, I think, technology manages to be a pretty important part of that process still. And so a lot of students are still bringing in their Chromebooks to the classroom. They're nice kind of portable laptops. They've got, kinds that are more like tablet-like, ones that are more like your traditional computers. All the things you can do so you can take your notes in the classroom on something like, Google Docs or slides and everything, and still pay attention at the same time as the teacher's teaching in real life.
And looking ahead, there's always been some homework help and things like that available through Google as well, right?
Absolutely. There's a couple of things that are pretty easy to get to just from searching in the search bar. One of the ones I think about is the periodic table. So, if you're a chemistry, maybe not great, you're not great at chemistry like me, you can search for the periodic table and it'll show you an interactive version of it where you can, click on the various types of elements and see like, oh, what does hydrogen look like? Or what does neon look like? And you'll see kind of the atom makeup, the protons, neutrons, some other fun facts, those kind of things.
And for both the parents and teachers, students too, I suppose, you have some organization assistance.
Yeah, so a tool we love to use is Google Classroom. Obviously from the teacher standpoint, you can configure it to say, hey, here are the lessons, here's where you can turn your homework and your assignments. From a student standpoint, you can also use it to just keep yourself in track, right? Where you put, you can look at your calendar and see when things are due, you can turn in your homework. You can actually even do something called practice sets where what it is kind of interactive practice problems where as you write your answer, a traditional practice sheet may take a teacher some time to grade and get back to you about a week later. And maybe at that point, you may have been doing multiplication wrong the whole time. In this sense, you'll be able to answer the question, get help right in the moment and say, hey, you were doing multiplication, but it might have been subtraction in the problem set. And so these sort of interactive practice problems are helping these students kind of get their math act together.
Terrific. Well, following the experience of the last couple of years, the expectation is pretty much all the classes will be in person, as we've said. But we have learned to do more things virtually as well. And I guess there are some real benefits to that.
Very much so. I think what's been nice about it too is like in the past where if you missed a class or something like that, you kind of had to depend on your buddy to take some good notes for you of varying quality, bring them to you after school and everything. You have to kind of parse through it there. I think, with Google Classroom and other things, teachers can actually upload their lectures online. So even if you were meant to be in person but you miss, you'll be able to see things afterwards.
Now, is there any cost involved for using something like Google Classroom?
Yeah, so on average, Google Classroom is free. There, all the features are there, but if school administrators interested, there is an upgrade that you can do. It's a monthly kind of license, and it adds a couple other extra features. But the bulk of the things that people will need to do should be able to be accessed for free.
Terrific. So, where can people go for more information?
Yeah, for some of these educational tools, you can kind of go to google.com.edu /edu, and you'll be able to find a lot of these tools.
Terrific. Peter Du, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Of course. Thanks, Fred.